Welcome to Subconsciously Taken, fool.
Hello, how you doing? I hope y'all doing good, and I hope y'all family is doing as well. Today I wanted to talk about work as far as when you go get a job. You know, a lot of times in jobs that we work, we ain't there because we want to work there. We're there because we need the money. And we got to do what we got to do as far as making money that you got to pay your bills and stuff. And something that I think you should think about is when you go to an interview to begin with and you talk to a person, be honest with them and tell them straight up if you have anything that's on you that might prevent you from getting the job. They look at this, they look at it real good. And you can't say just because you've been locked up you can't get a job. You can. It depends on how you talk to the person, especially if it's a company that owns the company. Sometimes we'll go into these jobs where the owner is actually there, and they either talk to you or they'll have somebody talk to you, but they like honesty. People think, oh, well, it ain't gonna do no good. No, it will, depending on how you talk. You know, and that's something that at least give it a shot. Because you never know. And as far as when you do get the job, and there are things that you don't agree with, write it down. And if you have any kind of conflict with your supervisor or whoever that's up there on top, write that down. The dates, time, when it happened, and what was it about. That's something that'll come useful to you in the future. As you work at this place, always, how do I say it? Always complain about the big stuff, not the little bitty things. That's nothing to complain about. You know, I remember when I used to work at the refinery, I when we had safety meetings, I would bring up the safety issues that I thought were important. But I wasn't nitpicking little bitty stuff. I was going for stuff that actually it, it it affected everybody. So I brought it up, and I would just tell them, not in a bad way. I would never curse. And this is something that you need to think about. If you get in trouble with the supervisor and they take you up to the front office, let's just say that you were cursing at them out in the field. Don't show your ignorance in the front office. Show a professional complaint. I know out in the field, and what I mean by cursing is because you get comfortable with the person. You might have been working with them for maybe 2, 3 years, but then y'all end up getting in an argument and you curse at them. But when you go up there, they expect you to do the same thing when you get in there, to start cursing. And one thing about it is when you curse, you're showing your ignorance, and the person that's in charge there, they'll shut you out completely. They won't even listen. You might be talking, but they're not. They already made up their minds by your actions. That's just something to think about. And as far as what I was talking about and writing everything down, if issues happen, write it down. I used to write things down when I would get like in arguments with supervisors and stuff. I would actually write a letter, give it to my supervisor to turn it in, I'd keep a copy for myself. And next thing you know it, they'll call me up to the front office. Hey, what's this letter? Why you saying this? And I would explain everything to them, but in a professional way. I wouldn't show my ignorance. In reality, all human beings are ignorant sometime or another. You know, ignorance, you might think it might mean stupid, but a lot of times it's because you're ignorant of knowledge. You know, and I know that when you talk to them in a professional way, use words to explain yourself that gives the point, but yet it kind of sounds wrong, but it's right. And what I mean by that is because a lot of times when you talk to somebody, you can give them a direct message without cursing, but get your point across with words. Like I always said, words are very powerful. They are very powerful. It just depends on how you put them together. And a lot of times you can use their own words against them. But you got to think. That's why I say knowledge is very important. And never think that just because you can't speak right or you can't say correct words, use your own way, the way you see it that's correct to you. You'll be surprised. It helps. Just be yourself. Just be yourself, but without the cursing. But I mean, never look down at yourself. And that's another thing I wanted to mention. All your failures in life, see it in a positive way. And I mean that, see it to where you try not to do them again. Whatever it was. And if it was something that you just had to straighten it out. And move forward. And keep moving forward. You know, and don't lose that positive energy. Anything negative, try to make it positive. But I mean, this is just something that I thought I would speak on, because I know a lot of people out there, a lot of times they get in trouble and they don't know what to do. I know when you go into the front office to face up with them, you kind of get nervous. You don't know what you're going to say. But think about it. Think about what you're going to say, exactly what you're going to say. And talk to them, and you'll be surprised that they'll go toward your side than they will the supervisor's side. You know, and I know there's politics in work, even though they say there's not. They always got their best friend or their brother or their cousin putting them in positions that they shouldn't even have. But there's really not much you can do when you need the job and you got to pay your bills. I understand that. You know, even when I was working, they had their favorite people that didn't know how to work, didn't know nothing about the job, but yet they cradled them and let them make all the overtime. And it's funny, you might think older people don't know how to work, or just because they're older, you're young and you can do more. What I've learned is the young ones are always the more lazy ones that don't want to do nothing. And the reason why old people work harder, because as an old person, you're trying to keep your job, you're trying to pay your bills, you're trying to do the right thing. And you got to keep up with the young generation, even though the young generation, most of them ain't really about nothing. They don't know how to work. They cry all the time. But yet, the only thing they got over a person that does everything is they got somebody in the family or a best friend up there on top that won't let them go. It's sad that it has to be that way. You know, I've never been a supervisor, and believe me, they wouldn't want me to be a supervisor. And the thing is that I believe that everybody should put in their effort to work and do their job, what they're paid for. That's making an honest living, you know. Don't go with the crowd that just because they don't do nothing. If they're tied up with the supervisor or with the foreman or whatever, if that they're cousins or they're whatever, they're gonna get rid of you before they get rid of them. You know, it's sad it is that way, but that's politics. That's the way it is everywhere. You know, people say, "Oh, I don't believe in politics." No, it's there. It's there. It's more like who got power. You know, it always comes down to that. But anyway, I hope y'all got something out of this video. If you like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, it's up to you. And like I always say, we all create our own hell by the choices we make in life. Think about it. God bless you, God loves you, and peace out.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. It's all up to you. Bye-bye and God bless.